Hey y'all, this is my Real Housewives of Salt Lake City review. Now I didn't want to do this because I'm currently high right now, but you know, I want to get this video out the way. So don't judge me too much if I look a little out of it. I'm just a wee bit toasted, that's all. But let's get into the episode. So we open with Jen felling Shaw and then her accomplice, her first assistant. So while he's doing illegal activity on the computer, probably stealing social security numbers, she's feeding him a banana like her chimp. But yeah, speaking of that, y'all, I hear the arrest is the next episode. Woo, we are almost there. Oh, goodness. And now we're with Meredith and her son, Brooks.
Hey, mother. I'm just making a smoothie for breakfast. Do you want some? Because I know how much you love smoothies.
Their voices together, like they should not be allowed in the same scene together. So this is a little montage of what the ladies are doing. Now we're with Lisa, and she's overlooking a venue for her next charity event. So this charity event is also highlighting her 16-year-old son's business, basically that she gave him. It's called Werewolf or something, like hair care products for men, I think. And basically she created the business, but just, you know, put her kids in charge of it. So yeah, I mean, white privilege, you know, good for them. God, they need some sun. So next scene, we're with Mary, and she's having lunch with Heather and Lisa. Now, I don't know why Mary's just like a homeless person that got lost in Vogue magazine's closet, but that's definitely what she's giving right now. Oh, that's Italian? I thought it was Japanese. Like, all I saw was like raw seafood. It's really odd seeing all these ladies together now that Mary accused both of them of being racist. Did I say Lisa at first? I probably said Lisa at first. I'm sorry if I did. So Heather and Whitney are now asking Mary about is she good with Lisa now. I kind of think Whitney and Heather are delighted that Mary is fighting with Lisa because they want another ally that hates Lisa. I can't believe I'm defending Lisa, but even though she can be a bitch, I think in that moment, she wasn't being a bitch to Mary. So they ask her why did it make her so upset, and it's triggering for her because she doesn't like to be questioned. So whenever she's questioned, she'll be triggered. She sounds like a cult leader because most cult leaders don't want you to question whatever they're saying to you. So Mary is now feeding us this storyline again about like how she's at odds with her mom, and they're at odds about all that was left by Mary's grandmother, which created their contentious relationship. I'm not falling for this. I don't believe anything that Mary says. I would question her daily. Oh yeah, Heather is definitely trying to recruit Mary right now, the way she's talking to her about Lisa. I'm wondering if this scene is foreshadowing because Lisa is the one that brought that guy that was familiar with Mary's cult around at the end of this episode. I'm thinking maybe Lisa did that on purpose to spite Mary. Next scene, we're back with Lisa and her pale tribe about this fresh wolf deodorant that their sons are selling. I don't know. They're doing a photo shoot for this. Like, is all of Lisa's scene this episode gonna be a fresh wolf ad? Jesus. So Jen Shaw comes by. She's dressed like Inuyasha with the wolf head on her head and a fur around. Just so damn extra and ostentatious. Like, is that real? Because I feel like Peter would definitely have a problem with this. So now Jen's a part of the photo shoot now with these ugly wolf heads. And after that, they sit down to talk. So they're sitting down and exchanging pleasantries. And then for some reason, she brings up Jen's dysfunctional relationship with Heather. Oh, so Lisa decides to bring this up on camera. Did she know what she was doing? So somehow she pivots the conversation about Heather and she brings up that designer that worked for Jen in this viral video of her cursing him out or whatever. I forgot all about that leaked video. I mean, it really wasn't shocking. Like, we knew she was crazy like that and talked to people reckless. That's like people suspecting that Amanda Seales isn't a nice person. I mean, duh. She's not. No surprises there. So now we have all the ladies gossiping about that incident in their confessionals. And it looked like Heather and Whitney are telling this story with such delight. So the way Jen is reacting to Lisa bringing up that designer's name, she seems a little pissed because she was blindsided about this information. Jen is full of shit. She's trying to say like, oh, he took this video and made it seem like I'm an awful person. I hate to tell you, but if the shoe fits, She definitely did what she did. Like, she was caught red-handed. I'm sure she talks to all of her assistants like that. Here we go. She about to blow up. Oh, the shit that he put up, it's a fucking setup. And it looks like she snaps at Lisa a little bit. Well, you brought it up. Typical Jen, when she's held accountable, she gets volatile. I mean, that's basically what her and Lisa has in common. Lisa starts crying and Jen starts freaking out. So it looks like the reason that Lisa brought it up is because the designer has been taking gifts from Whitney, I believe, so she wanted to bring it to Jen's attention that people in their circle are giving this guy gifts. I mean, of course Jen's making herself out to be the victim yet again. Alright, so next scene we were with Whitney and her brothers skating in her neighborhood. This looks like a Best Fiends tea. I might have to fast forward. So the gist of this conversation is Whitney found out that her brother is still speaking to her dad, whereas she hasn't spoken to her dad in 6 months. And she's also feels some type of way because she's the reason that she connected her dad to the rest of her siblings. I wonder why he isn't talking to her specifically though. Like, at first I just thought he went into hiding and didn't want to talk to nobody, but it's Whitney that he's specifically mad at. So according to Whitney, it seems like her dad may have possibly relapsed and she and her husband put him out their house, and maybe that's the reason why they're not speaking. So next scene we're with Heather and Meredith, and they're with both of their daughters and they're having lunch together. Random observation, but if it's one thing Heather's gonna do, she's gonna order some food for the table. Oh no, they about to talk about school and stuff? Fast forward. It's good to see the moms with their daughters though. So at the table, Meredith lets Heather know that she has a 7-bedroom house in Vales, I want to say, that is empty now, and she suggested they do a girls trip with all the ladies. Now, I'll pause the scene right quick, and Meredith is starting to morph into Khloe Kardashian. Like, it's right here. I might have to put a picture up right here, but wow, she's starting to look like Khloe Kardashian. So y'all, this is the trip coming up that Jen had to leave early because she was running from the feds. So Meredith says she's inviting all the ladies, and then they're just talking about the dynamic and they hope that it goes well. So next scene is the day of Lisa's charity event slash marketing event for her son's Wolf deodorant or whatever. This venue is strange. It looks like there's just way too much space for the little people that's there, and it looks like a barn from the inside. So Meredith arrives with her son Brooks, and Brooks looks like he got some work done. Like, he looked like he got like a chin implant or something smoothed out on his face. The fact that Lisa only invited certain women from the group speaks volumes, especially since she didn't invite Jen there. The ladies are right, like Lisa is very calculated, but then when you call her out on it, who? Me? How dare you? Yes, bitch, you. So meanwhile, we're with Heather and Jen, and they're both hanging out at Heather's house. Lord, so Jen, I guess, stopped at a sex shop before she got to Heather's, and I'm guessing she wants to encourage Heather's sex life or dating life or whatever. Jen even admits in her confessional that most of the stuff that she bought for Heather, she wouldn't even use it herself. What? What is going on right now? They both have fake dicks strapped on the top of their heads. So then Heather brings up Meredith's girl trip idea to Jen, and she invites her on behalf of Meredith. Jen appreciates it, but she's wondering how come Meredith just didn't invite her herself. Heather is telling her that all the girls are invited, and that gets them on the topic of Lisa. And Jen brings up that Lisa brought up like her beef with that fashion designer, and she still feels some type of way about it. Clearly it looks like Lisa's trying to create a disconnect between Jen and Whitney. And of course Heather's calling out the bullshit and saying that it's sus of her to do that. And this is exactly what everyone is talking about Lisa, about how sly, underhanded, and slick you are. She's been carrying the season on her back though. Her messy ass. Ooh, so Heather tells Jen that Whitney was invited to Lisa's charity event, and she's wondering, how come Lisa didn't invite you, Jen? And it's strange that Lisa wouldn't invite Jen to the party, being that Jen was just at the photo shoot. Ooh, Jen has a good point. Like, if you're so concerned about what Whitney is doing to me, then why are you inviting Whitney to your event and not me? Lisa trying to pull some LVP shit. Heather and Whitney have Lisa's snake ways down to a science. Okay, now Jen is pissed now that she knows that the charity was for adoption and foster care kids. She says, my aunt adopted 2 kids from foster care. How dare she not invite me? But then again, y'all notice that Heather's kind of playing chess like Lisa? Because she just tried to get Mary as well as Jen on her side against Lisa. Yeah, this event looks weird. It's just so huge and it just has such few people there. It's like you have a party with 7 people in a 10,000 square foot mansion. So Lisa, again, in front of Meredith, she brings one of her friends who do their best shot at acting, trying to talk to her about the gent incident and then showering her with compliments on how good she handled Jen's behavior. So staged. Like, why Lisa is doing this? So now Lisa's telling Meredith about Jen's behavior, how she got mad at her for bringing up the designer's name. And Meredith's like, well, she has no problem bringing up other people's business. Why's she getting mad? Yeah, it totally looks like Lisa purposely didn't invite Jen to this event to spite her for blowing up on her earlier. So this large, bald black man that Lisa knows is her connection to Mary. They both know her. So conveniently now, Lisa's friend is now just talking to Meredith one-on-one about Mary. So he's telling her, like, thank God he's not in Mary's church anymore. He's saying disparaging comments about Mary and her grand-husband, saying that they have done things. He's giving very veiled responses to Meredith's questions, like talking in riddles. So now Mary is like, I'm really discouraged from hearing this. Like, Mary is my good friend. Again, he's like, Mary and I, we were really good friends, really good friends. Just be careful. What bad movie is he acting in right now? Y'all see what Lisa is doing right now? Clearly she's trying to get back at Mary by bringing this guy on camera. This is such an awkward scene. And now he's saying, you stick around, you'll find out. Dude, can you just say what Mary did? And then he said, like, it's not his story to tell. It's for Mary to tell. Yeah, this gentleman is saying a whole lot of nothing. And why didn't Lisa just come back to the conversation? She just so happened had to get her picture taken by a photographer. They must think the audience is stupid. So now a distressed Meredith heads over to Lisa and tells her what she found out. Meredith, she's really overreacting to this information. She's shaking, like that was intense. So based on how long Lisa has known this Cameron character, of course she knows the information that he knows about Mary. So of course that's why she brought him on to talk about it. Lisa is a crafty, conniving master manipulator. So this is the reason why Lisa did not invite Mary. So she knew the bad relationship between those two. Yup, called it. Lisa already knows the tea and said, oh, maybe we shouldn't bring it up here. Lord, we got 1 minute left and they just wasting our time. Yep, and that's where the episode ends. Lisa saying she don't want to talk about it. This episode was okay. It was borderline filler. Thankfully, the feds are coming next week. And according to Andy Cohen, the next 2 episodes are some of the best in Housewives history. Now, I'm going to try to take this cross-eyed fool's word, but, he be lying and be giving us unnecessary 4-part reunions, too. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about this episode. I didn't really care for it too much, but thank God the heat is about to be turned up in Salt Lake City. With that, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all on Patreon. Bye.